Welcome students. We are understanding the fine difference between a pair of prepositions. The prepositions that are used in similar situations. Another popular pair is between and among. So let us understand the fine difference when the idea of dividing or sharing is there, then we can use either of these prepositions. When idea of dividing or sharing is there, we can use either of them. The father divided his property between or among his two sons. The father divided his property between or among his two sons. So here the idea of dividing or sharing is there. So between or among either are correct. Next, between is used when idea of two persons, things or groups is there. When idea of two persons, groups or things is given, then we will use between. Example, the child was standing between his mother and father. The child was standing between his mother and father. There was a picture between two windows. There was a picture between two windows. Now let us understand the third use. How between and among are used in some other situation also. Third example, when the groups, persons or things, when groups, persons or things are considered individually or separately. When the groups, persons or things are understood individually or separately, then we use between. Then we use between in such a situation. Example, there was a great love between three friends. There was a great love between three friends. Here between is correct. Why? Because friends are considered in their individual capacity. Okay? Or in a sense of separation. They are considered separately. When the groups, persons or things are considered as a whole and not separately, there is another case when the groups, persons or things are considered as a whole and not separately. Then among is used. Example, the rabbit lay hidden among the bushes. He found great joy among his friends. This is another example. He found great joy among his friends. The rabbit lay hidden among the bushes. So I hope you have understood the difference between among and between and how these are used in different situations. So I think now everything is clear to you. Welcome back, students. Let us understand the fine difference. What are the fine differences between the uses of below and under? Both are used in similar situations. So how? Below and under. Both give the idea of lower than. Both these prepositions give us the idea of lower than, and in such situations where an idea of lower than is there, we can use either of these prepositions. Example, the ship lay under the water. The ship lay under the water, or the ship lay below the water. Here we can use any. Here under is correct and below is also correct. Why? Because idea of lower than is lower than the required level is here. Now the next one, next use. Under means vertically below. Under gives us the idea of vertically below. Example, the dog is under the chair. The books are under the pillow. So that is the difference. Under means vertically below. The dog is under the chair. The books are under the pillow. Now understand the difference between beside and besides. Most of the students get confused in their use. Beside and besides. Beside gives us the idea by the side of. Beside gives us idea by the side of, left or right, or next to. So these three ideas are there. Either the thing is by the side, it is left or right, or it is next to. He lay beside me. He sat beside his friend. So these are the examples. He lay beside me. He sat beside his friend. So this idea by the side of, left or right, next to, this idea is given. Now besides. Besides means it means in addition to. In addition to, when something is in excess. Example, besides giving me suggestions, besides giving me suggestions, he also gave me money. I hope you have understood the difference between beside and besides. Now let us understand another important pair of prepositions. For and before. Before is used in both positive and negative sentences. Example, she will not come before 9 p.m. She will not come before 9 p.m. She will arrive there before 6 p.m. So here you can see one is negative sentence and another is positive sentence. For gives us idea not later than. idea of not later than, and it refers to some future time. It refers to some future time. Example, she will not be here for an hour. That means she will not come before an hour. That is the idea. She will not come before an hour. Now let us have a quick revision of the difference between for and before. Before is used in both positive and negative sentences. She will not come before 9 p.m. She will arrive there before 6 p.m. For gives us the idea of not later than. It refers to some future time. She will not be here for an hour. So she will not come before an hour. So that is the idea. I hope